Welcome here to Talk FCB and welcome back to the channel, guys, as club football right here. It does return this weekend. Barça will take on Valencia, and coming up today, we got the preview coming a little bit differently to usual. We're going to talk about the game to come. We're going to talk about some words from Ronald Koeman, who remains in his position. But we are also going to be addressing the big rumours right now surrounding Dani Alves and a possible return to Barça. And we're going to be talking about whether we should be approaching the Brazilian. It is all coming up. So let's get back into it. Because indeed, guys, as this weekend we head into round 9 of La Liga, as you can see right now, Barça find themselves in 9th position in the league table, which is unacceptable. There is absolutely no doubt at all that in the weeks to come now, these big matches that are on the horizon, we've got to make progress. We simply have to turn things around. You can see there that our opponents, Valencia, heading into the weekend, are in 8th place. And as you can also see from the upcoming schedule in La Liga, which, like I say, the month of October, it is going to be a big one. I do feel as though it may be decisive in many different areas. Barça this weekend will have the chance to gain on Real Madrid, to gain on Atletico Madrid after their matches were postponed for this weekend. And indeed, this weekend, Barça will play the final match of the weekend on Sunday at 9 p.m. local time. And some of the best news that we've heard for quite a long time, I feel, when it comes to Barça, is that now, from this weekend, the Camp Nou is officially permitted to allow 100% capacity, and that is massive for us. I think especially right now, we've got 3 home games in a row. It's going to be a brilliant opportunity to get fans back inside the stadium, especially when you're looking at the Clásico coming up. We need to feel that atmosphere. We need to feel that extra boost from the crowd to get us through what is a difficult moment. And of course, guys, speaking of those next 3 games, let's not forget that that could be decisive for Ronald Koeman and his future as Barça coach, because we have heard rumours that there may be a new ultimatum, that these next 3 games may be the ones that actually decide Koeman's fate. Of course, we have heard all that before, but I do feel as though in these coming games we have to see progress. We have to see some sort of solution to the problems that we've been suffering. And this is not just a big week for Ronald Koeman. It's not just a big week here for the players and the guys who are out there giving it their all to try and turn this situation around. Who this is a big week for is Joan Laporta. Like I've said before, it was he who made the decision here to keep Koeman on. It's he who trusted in him. It's he who's given him here another chance. And for that reason, Laporta is under as much pressure as anyone, and we need to see progression. Because although heading into this match, Ronald Koeman there is going to be without Pedri. He is not yet fully recovered from his problem, despite, of course, signing that brilliant new contract just yesterday. And also we are going to be without Ronald Araujo there, a big loss at centre-back. And still on the sidelines is Ousmane Dembele. But one man who is going to be ready to return, and one man that Koeman has often been speaking about there in terms of helping our goal-scoring output, it's Aguero. He has been back in training, he's been playing in training matches, and he could be set to make his Barça debut at the Camp Nou on Sunday. And I have to say, I'm really looking forward to seeing Aguero in a Barça shirt, somebody there who has been prolific over the years, and certainly with those chances in front of goal, he can help us. There is absolutely no question about that. Koeman said earlier that Aguero has improved a lot. He said he played 25 minutes in the training match the other day. He said little by little he's going to add more minutes and he's going to become much more sharp. He said he's a quality player. He's going to be key for us inside the area, and he has a good chance tomorrow of entering the squad list to face Valencia. And also, of course, let's not forget about Ansu Fati. Who could forget about Ansu Fati, who's been repeatedly, since his return, coming off the bench and trying to impact games deep into the second half. But the big question has been, over the course of the international break, could he start the game against Valencia now? This big game, of course, to get us back into things and help turn things around. Could he start this match? And Koeman Koeman did not deny the possibility. He said, we're going to decide tomorrow if Ansu is going to start this game. He said every single day he's looking better, but he has been out for a long time. He's been away from the field for a long, long time, and you don't recover from that in just 2 weeks. And he did say, what is certain is that Ansu won't be able to play 3 complete games this week, so we're going to have to choose his minutes. And that would be the question right now. Which games there do you prioritise? You've got Valencia, you've got Dinamo in the Champions League. That for me is a massive game, and so is the Clásico. But at the same time, you want to get off to a good start. You want to make sure that you win this game. You need to win this game to give yourself a fighting chance in those others. And Ronald Koeman said, right now for me, the Valencia match, it's the most important one because that's the next game. He said we have to take advantage of playing 2 consecutive matches at home here against Valencia, then Dinamo. He said we have to secure 6 points. It's going to be a very important week. And of course, given the fact here we are looking to get off to the best possible start following this international break, the starting lineup is going to be absolutely crucial for Ronald Koeman. For me, I've said it many, many times before, he's got to be brave here. He has to be bold. He knows right now, even though he keeps getting chance after chance after chance, he must know time is running out. You've got to start performing. You've got to start basically saying, you know what, let's just go for it. Let's go out there, play without fear, and get some better performances. Ter Stegen for me with starting goal. Serginho Dest there, back on his natural side in defence, scored a stunning goal, cutting in from the right in the international break for the USA, striking it there with his left. Piqué for me should start there at centre-back, and partnering him, I would say personally, Oscar Mingueza. And let me just explain that, because obviously we don't have Araujo. Longley is an option. I'm telling you, all those kind of options are available. But for me, I go with Mingueza instead of Eric Garcia, because Eric Garcia, of course, let's not forget, is suspended for the midweek game against Dinamo. He got sent off there in the latter stages of the game against Benfica, and I think for that reason right now, we've got to build a partnership. That Dinamo game, it's massive, so let's start here with Piqué, with Mingueza, who's a very, very solid and dependable player. He can certainly play there in that centre-back role, and then if it works, I'd play it again against Dinamo and go from there. Jordi Alba should be absolutely fine and ready to return at left back. That is going to be a very welcome boost for Ronald Koeman. But what I would say is look after him, make sure that he is ready, and we don't want any more relapses on our hands. Busquets in midfield there for me, Frenkie de Jong as well. And for me, you've got to start Gavi. I mean, you watch him for Spain over the international break, and there's no question that he can't be coming off the bench here. He can't be being used as a fringe player. This guy's ready. This guy is ready to start games and dominate games like we saw him do for Spain. Gavi in midfield. I would actually play an extra midfielder in there with Coutinho ahead of them because we still lack natural wide players. And then the front men. I would start Ansu Fati alongside Memphis Depay. Those two from the start with a packed midfield behind them and fullbacks who can provide the width. That's the way I'd play. But how would you line up? Because obviously, guys, coming into this game, it is safe to say that honestly none of us know what to expect. We've been following Barca now, not just this season, but for many, many years, and they can be very unpredictable. More now than ever before, we don't really know what kind of performance to expect from this team. As you can see, many people going the way of Valencia, a few people thinking the Barca are going to be able to get a win here, which would be a massive, massive 3 points. And of course, we're all hoping that we can do that, and that we can turn this situation around. But what I would also like to talk to you guys about today, like I mentioned there in the intro, is Dani Alves. Because yes, of course, we have players right now who can help us get out of this situation. Players who can be very, very good when they are played at their maximum. But could we add one more? Should we be looking at 38-year-old Dani Alves, who left Brazilian club Sao Paulo just 1 month ago following a wage dispute? He is now available on a free transfer. He's a free agent. Should we go out and get him? Because Alves, who is actually in the city of Barcelona right now, has been speaking over the past few days. He said, if Barca think they need me, all they need to do is give me a call. He said, I still think that I can contribute anywhere in any team, but even more so at Barca. because of the young players that they have. And that's a really significant final line there. Because of the youngsters that we have, Alves feels that he really can be of use to this team. He said Juan knows everything that I think of him, everything that he's done for Barca and for all of us. Yeah, that's nothing new. I've always stated it. I'm really glad that he's there again. He said they have left him with a problem, but I think if there's somebody who's trained to solve it, it's Laporta. And the media right now don't really know whether Barca are going to go down that route. There is a lot of conflicting reports about whether or not Barca will make that move for Dani Alves. But one thing the media are saying is that money, wages, wouldn't be an issue. Alves would love to come back. He would absolutely thrive on that challenge, that opportunity. And for that reason, he would not be demanding big wages in the slightest. And I just think when looking at this entire situation, the positives of bringing Alves back, they would vastly outnumber any negatives. And let me just explain why I feel that way. Because, of course, at Barca, right now, we are looking to a new future. We're looking forward, moving on, of course, from what we've done in the past. And usually that wouldn't include bringing back there a 38-year-old former player. But Alves isn't any 38-year-old. He is somebody there who's kept himself in pristine condition over the years. He's been an unbelievable trainer. His competitiveness is outstanding. And you have to remember that you need the right balance between youth and senior players as well who can bring some experience. And Alves, of course, comes with an abundance of that experience. But he's not only that. He's not just somebody who's going to come in and be an old head and, pass on things and be the mature player in the dressing room. He brings a spirit with him. I think he also brings wisdom, a mentality, a winning mentality, which is what we need. We need that right now at the club. This is a guy who's the most decorated player in the history of this game. And we need him to come in and inject some of that fight, some of that winning feeling into this group of players. And just thinking in there right back, think of what he could do, I feel, for Serginho Dest, training alongside Dani Alves every day. How much he'd learn, how much he'd actually take from him. And Alves now is at the stage of his career where he would love, like he said there in his interview, to help those younger players, to pass on all of that knowledge from the incredible career that he's had. And of course he wouldn't play every game. I'm not saying here that he's going to come in and be a star, but he would really push Dest. He would keep him on his toes. And let me put it to you like this. As cover at right back, which, let's face it, it's a position right now that we are light in, I would much rather bring back Dani Alves, sign Dani Alves there on a free, than renew somebody like Sergio Agüero. I would go further than that. I would rather a 68-year-old Dani Alves than renew Roberto, who is probably going to earn double Alves' wages. So indeed, guys, that right there is all of the build-up ahead of this weekend's big clash against Valencia. Please do let me know all your predictions, all of your thoughts for that game, but also, very crucially, what do you make there of that Dani Alves situation? Would you bring him back? If you're for the move, why are you? And if you're against it, why would you not bring him back at this time? Please do let me know all of those thoughts in the comments down below. I will, of course, see you on Sunday night, when hopefully things are looking a little bit more positive. I will see you then, guys, and I thank you, of course, for tuning in right here. But until next time, as always, Visca El Barça.